as we progress, we're moving into hypertrophy. So a lot of people are familiar with hypertrophy. Basically, this means that I'm trying to increase the size of my muscles. A lot of training is done in the hypertrophy realm. This is where we see body split training, for instance, chest, shoulder, tricep day, a leg day, a back and bicep day. So I increase the intensity by focusing specifically a whole workout dedicated to a muscle group. It could be a primary mover as it's more advanced. It could be very small muscles. Some bodybuilders will come in and do a body part for a day. They'll do arms for 2 hours in the morning and come back that night and do legs or push-pull. There's a lot of different ways you can break up a body split. But the main component in this training is increased intensity levels with weights, more exercises per body part, less reps, increased rest breaks. And once again, the goal is to get the muscle bigger. Now from this point, let's say it's been 12 or 16 weeks, I can cycle back to the first phase. I could cycle all the way back to stability training and go through this progression again. I could shift out of that and do more cardio-intensive training, more sport-specific training. Or I could progress on into strength training. So strength training, once again, is increasing the intensity levels by load. We're looking at lowering the repetition, increasing the load, increasing the amount of weight that we're using, and of course, increasing our rest breaks, allowing time to recover so that we can go back in and use more load. Once again, this kind of training is done predominantly in a body split type fashion, or once again a push-pull type day. This method of training is roughly about 4 to 5 weeks. Each section of training can last anywhere between 4 and 5 weeks, or as little as 2 weeks, depending on goals. So as we progress past strength training, we're looking at power training. So power training is really dealing with force production. Many times it's speed. So if I'm using high load, say 85 to 100% load, the training is slow and methodical, obviously. But if I'm using a lighter load, say 35%, I want to move at a maximum speed. I want to do things as hard as I possibly can do them. I want to create as much force as I possibly can. So you can think more of a plyometric type movement, or some type of sprinting movement where there's a load behind you, or somebody is offering you resistance. So power training is very important. All of these cycles are very important that we include into our programming. Each cycle has a specific energy system that the body has and needs to be activated. Now, most of us have a tendency to stay stuck in 1 or 2 of these areas of training. We can look at somebody who loves to run. They're probably not going to do a lot of strength training. They're probably not going to slow down enough to do a lot of strength training. Somebody who's really strong and enjoys strength training probably will not choose to go out and run for 2 hours. Neither person likes to do yoga. So we can see that this is just a very basic overview. And it's one of the reasons that people get chronically overtrained and injured, is they're not moving in and out of energy systems. They can't see their own digression of training. They get stuck in likes and dislikes and don't want to shift out. And this is really the need of the coach. This is what a coach does, they will use testing protocol. They'll look at the numbers, they'll look at the person, what's the energy levels, what's the injury rate, how are you feeling, all of these things, and put them together. And this gives us cues that it's time to shift out of energy systems, or it's time to take a break completely from training. Most people that are exercising, many times I'll ask them, when's the last time you took a day off? And they can't remember. That's just not okay. So one has to also understand that the gains are really being made when we're resting and recovering. That's when the neurological adaptations, that's when the recovery is taking place, is when you're resting. So many variables, and I just wanted to go through a couple of them today to give you an idea about how you could begin to build your own macro cycles or your own annual training program. Thank you.